Right, welcome back to the Gregory Alekar Museum's virtual tour of the CARS online exhibits. In this video, we will be touring an exhibit curated by Binh Don, a Vietnamese artist. So I'm going to click on this link here. And this will take me to the Gregory Alekar Museum of Art website. We're going to scroll until we find Binh Don CARS online virtual exhibition. And this page gives us a little bit more background information about the artist and his process. We're just going to go up here and click this link. And it should load the exhibit. So once the page has loaded, you can hit Enter Exhibition and then use your keyboard arrows to move around. You can also click on an image to have it pulled forward, and then use these previous and next arrows in order to move through the gallery. So pause the video here and look around for a minute or two. Now, locate a piece called Gary McCulloch, 20 years old. You can do this also by hitting the menu button and then going to List of Works and then scrolling to until you find what you're looking for. And there we go. All right. So once you've found this artwork, spend a minute or so looking at the image. You can click on the little icon with the eye right there in the upper right corner to get some more details. So pause the video here to spend about a minute looking at this and consider what you notice. So a bit of background information. The artist invented his own process for this piece using photo negatives, chlorophyll, and sunlight. Can you guess how he did it? Angel and I learned that Binh Don put transparent photo negatives onto plant material, letting the sun dry out the plant. The parts that stayed dark green, which are the shadows around the man's face, those were the parts that were blocked from sunlight. So this photograph came from Life magazine in 1969, featuring fallen soldiers from the Vietnam War. So Binh Don uses chlorophyll print process, which looks something like this. You can see here that the person holding this photo negative, it's pretty small in size, but then this leaf is pretty big, so it's gonna go right on top of this leaf, and then it lays out in the sun for a few days, and then this part of the negative will turn the leaf a sort of a yellow or brown color, probably, whatever color it is when it dies. And then the dark parts of the negative will stay green. So that's a good example of his process. Obviously, it takes a long time. If you click this link here, it will take you to the web page with a bit more information about the chlorophyll process with some examples of Binh Don's work. So why do you think that the title of this piece is a name and an age? What colors do you see here? How do the colors make you feel? Why do you think the artist chose grass as his plant material? So you can pause here and consider these questions for about a minute or so before we move on to the next artwork.
The second artwork we're going to talk about is called Buddha of Phnom Penh. So take a second to look at this artwork and pause the video and look at what you see in the artwork. So think about the colors in this artwork and in relation to the last artwork that we just looked at as well. So how do the colors make you feel in this? And why do you think that Binh Don chose Buddha in his artworks. So pause the video and think about those questions for a little bit. So with this artwork, Buddha is one of the big themes in the exhibit. It is based on Bindon's culture and background. So this type of artwork is called a daguerreotype, and this uses silver plates. So with the daguerreotype process, it's a bit more complicated than just regular photography. As you can see, there are so many steps to this. So the first step is clipping the corners and bending the edges of the plate to make it the size that they want. The second step is polishing, then sensitization, then exposure, then development, fixing, gliding, sealing. So this is a really complicated process that Bindon went through to do his daguerreotypes. So that's just a little background on that. This link shows a little bit more detail as well about the daguerreotype process. So there's like pictures down the line like this to show finished processes. And here's just some examples.
Considering this artwork, the Buddha of Phnom Penh, and the last artwork that we looked at, Gary McCullough, 20 years old, think about the differences between the two and how they make you feel. So pause the video and consider those things before we move on to the next exhibit.
In the next exhibit, we will talk about the women's textiles across Africa. And in Bindon's exhibit, he teaches us about his own personal identity, along with his cultural background. With our next exhibit, it looks a bit different because even though we don't know who the artists are, the artwork can still teach us about different cultures. So with that, we will conclude this video and see you in the next. Thank you.